Hi and welcome back. Just down here in the shed. If I look a bit grubby on the old face, I keep wiping it because it's pretty close to about 40 odd degrees Celsius out here in the shed at the moment. There's no airflow through the shed. That's around about 104 degrees, I think, Fahrenheit or something like that. So over the old 100 degrees mark. I'm pressing on though, so I'll just flip the old camera around and we'll just go through where I'm at. And on to point 5. So since last time I have cut out all of the holes that were marked in each of the side fuselage faces. That there was for the flap control horn to go through. This is for the tail wheel / little ruddery vatory, little mini stub ruddery thing, and the stabilators. And I've just cut all the upper and lower longerons. Here they are, sort of clamped and spot here. These ones here are just sort of sitting on here roughly at the moment. As you recall, I had all these skins were marked out sort of off the drawing using this sort of method, using the left side face, left side inner face and right side inner face, not interface, inner face. These are going to be drilled through now with silver clecos. I've just made myself a little packer, which is pretty much so I can put some force down on that, because if I don't, it's going to sort of want to do one of those. It flip things over and sort of probably cause the longeron to probably twist as I'm drilling it. We don't want to have anything like that. So I think that's around about it. I am going to proceed with these clecos now, and then I'll come back to you. Okie dokie. Got both aft side fuselage skins silver clecoed. I'm just going to quickly show you a detail on the drawing that I nearly got caught out on. It's pretty bright, so hopefully you can see this detail in the brightness of the sun. And it's just there. It's talking about the longeron. Basically, the skin on the side of the fuselage comes down about 0.25 of an inch, 0.25 of an inch, around about just over 0.64 of a millimeter. So that's the little packer that I was using there. So basically, the skins become flush on the underside when they're all joined together. So here's the underside. So that little guy there is just sort of flush there. That little edge is now flush in lieu of the top side. Doesn't matter because it's got the turtle deck over it. But I nearly got caught. You'll actually see the little black ones there. I put it all together and I thought, oh shit, that's right, I've got to do the little packer on it. I knew about it, but then I'm not worried about it. There's only about 4 or 5 of them through there that I've sort of individually done. They've got to be upsized anyway, so by the time it's upside, it's not going to matter. So that's that. I'm going to remove half of these clecos now, because I've used every single one of them, and then I'm going to box up. I've already dry fitted these together. Box up the aft end of the fuselage with the cross ties and the like, just to give you a bit of a look and show you what it looks like as a boxed up section of the tail cone / aft fuselage. Anyway, I'll come back to you shortly. Welcome back. I'm just about to stop for the day. If you remember from yesterday, it was about 40 odd degrees down here, just over the 100 degrees Fahrenheit mark, and today's is no different, so I'm going to call it quits. It's just a little after 4 in the afternoon. I've just pulled the shutter down over behind me over here to stop the sun coming through so I don't get burnt to a crisp. I'm going to quickly turn the camera around and just go through what I've done today, and then wrap this video up and get it posted. 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5. What have I done here? That's it. Oh, 0.9. Huh? 0.5. That's it. Ah, that's better. Alrighty. So I have cut these little fair lead assemblies. I haven't installed them yet. They go on one of the ribs. I'll call it a rib, one of the uprights. But there's a little bit of work involved with that. There's got to be a few cuts and that sort of stuff through it. But look, what I've done is I've just working my way back from the cross tie box here. I'm going to go back through to the aft of the aeroplane. Welcome back. It's been another hot one here today. Another 40 odd degrees Celsius, upwards of 100 and something degrees Fahrenheit. Done for the day, so I'll just quickly go through what I've managed to get done today. So I'll just flip the old camera around and we'll go through it. Okay, I've spent a lot of time doing all of the tying in all the cross tie box. Whoops, should have it on number 5. Keep doing that, don't I? So sorry for the tightness through there, it's a bit squeezy this end. So I've done a lot of the work on the cross tie box. You may recall in the last video I spoke about that I had to do these splice pieces. I was going to call them a splice angle, they're probably not. There's a lot of work in these to get them in the right position. Now Sonex give you a sort of a dimension backwards, which pretty much falls on that fold line of the side sheet of the aircraft. There's the little fold line just there. They give you a dimension, and as a cross reference, even though I put that dimension on there, as a cross reference I looked also down the line of these rivets through here, and I thought, you know what, I think they're probably, if you had this aeroplane built with absolute millimeter accuracy, and I don't think anyone out there is going to do it, you know, right to the nth degree, they're going to be a little bit of iffiness in it. It lined up pretty much. There's another hole behind that splice angle through there, and I just used a ruler down here as well just to cross check myself, and you know what, it fell right on top of it. So I'm not putting tickets on myself, but it was just another little reference line to that bend. You can probably just see that little bend there. There's another one down here, and I think that's Sonex's intent. You know, if it was 3mm forward or aft, you know, it wouldn't look as aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but that's just another little bit of my waffling on a little bit. I've put these pulleys in place as well, so just going to sit down here and make myself comfortable. Go through now. The Waiex B model, even though, you know, the fuselage is on the A model, and I suppose you'd still call it, not an A, sorry, that's a legacy. The Sonex, just traditional like the traditional tail and elevator type of aeroplane. The Waiex is, in the guts of it, all inside here is way different. Now I've been watching Gavin's Sonex B, a great. I've watched it 1,000 times, so just want to sort of put a little bit of a thing up there for Gavin, who lives in France. He's doing an absolutely fantastic job. I watch all of his videos, and I reckon I've watched them all 5 times, so I watch them constantly, and it helps a lot. And just want to take note that this aeroplane is way different internally to the other one. There's these pulleys to start with. They go back to, you'll just see with those 2 holes in that cross tie there, and you'll see that like the rivet holes are a little bit of an angle, like a V shape. There's 2 more pulleys that go through there, so the cabling comes off these from your control stick down, sorry, from the rudder down through those, and they go back to a mixer box down there, which is a little complex piece, which is going to be absolutely fantastic to build, and they go back to the actual rudder and the ruddervators from there. When I was sort of talking about watching Gavin, and I was getting a little bit confused because I love watching his methodology to do it. I'm just going to come around to the front of this one for a second. He built these the fair leads. Obviously, he had some of these fair lead assemblies. I think he had 4 in his, and this aeroplane's only got 2, and it was confusing the crap out of me again as usual. But when I had a little bit of a look again on this whole drawing here, here's my fair leads in this point here. Hopefully this makes sense. These are the 2 pulleys that I've just put in spot behind the cross tie box. So they come from the rudders through, they come down to those 2 little Y-shapey little pulleys that I showed you a moment ago, to a mixer little control-y thing there, through the 2 fair leads and out to one side of the rudder and out to the other side of the rudder, and then the top of that box comes through to the ruddervators. You may remember I spoke about these little cutouts being not opposite each other, but you know, one was a lot further forward and one was a lot more aft. Well, it makes a whole bunch of sense now when you look at that, because the control horn that goes through there is quite the way forward on one side. Now obviously it's a way forward on one side because it's got to do that looking. Actually, I'll just grab it down because I might just grab that down just so you can have a bit of a look. If you look on plan of this one, this guy, you'll actually see how that's cut like that. Well, been made like that. Now, obviously when it goes off to the starboard side, it sort of ends up being flush with the back of the tail post section, and then off to the right. So you can actually see by looking down on there, these control horns are, you know, one that's obviously got to go back a lot further and whatever, and there's a little bit of a hold here for the control arm, which goes back to the tail wheel to give you your steerability of the tail wheel. Hope that sort of come out right. But anyway, I probably didn't even need to explain all that. You all know it anyway. But just, you know, as much information I can give to everyone, it helps us all, doesn't it? So just recapping, I'm going to be working my way from the cross tie box, working my way back. So I've got there's the little V-shapey little pulleys to go into there. Then I've got a couple of little mixer boxy things back there, and this one here is going to be really fun to do because all the mechanical gadgety things that's going to be sitting back there. Anyway, I'm just having a quick beer before I go up and start cooking dinner. I'll have to put the chooks away in a minute. They've been running around like blue ass flies. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying these as much as I am both posting them and building. It's a great deal of fun, a great sense of achievement, and I hope you continue to watch them. Anyway, I will chat with you all very soon. Thank you.